All right.
I wish I knew.
All right. Welcome everybody to the second meeting of Blue Team meeting. Hope everybody had a nice week and hoping that the progress on the hack the box and mini hacks, sorry, try hack me and hack the mini hacks went well. Today we're going to be doing a presentation on anatomy of the competition, basically looking at what it entails, a few announcements, and yeah, that kind of thing. All right, so first off, for announcements, we still have Hack the Box Home CTF happening September 22nd to the 26th. What I need from you guys, if you're planning to get in, is I'm going to need you guys to go to the Discord announcement that I sent last week. That has a sheet of the teams. It's basically a free-for-all. Join whichever team you would like. The only thing that I need from you guys is to make a Hack the Box account and put your handle on that sheet. That way I can make the teams. Security B-Sides Orlando Conference. That's happening right at the end of the CTF. We have the carpooling sheet over there. And yeah, hope to see everybody there. Cyberforce tryouts. Those are going to be happening September 24th through the 28th. That's going to be halfway of the week of next week. So I believe I put it from Thursday all the way to Sunday. The reason why we're doing this so soon is because Cyberforce competition is on November 14th to the 15th. So we have to make teams ASAP. The plan is to have 2 teams to be registered for Cyberforce, attempt to be registered for Cyberforce. The reason why I say attempt is because this competition happens at Chicago. So if you want to go, you're going to have to pay out of pocket. However, we are working very hard to get funding. However, at this point, we cannot promise anybody that we will be able to fund a team going there. So that's that. Also, Cyberforce does consider every team individually and do reserve the right to not allow a team to get registered. So no promises on whether say suppose team 1 and team 2 will be able to go. At any case, we are going to do the tryout, at least for us, for our internal purposes, because the results will be used to evaluate team composition for future competitions, and both competitions, who gets priority, who goes to which competition, and so on. So do get prepared for that.
So basically, we're gonna register the team so that we get access to like the environment whenever they give it to us for the first phase.
Well, I'm going to send the application to register the teams. They may or may not accept it.
Yeah, because you don't have to include the team over there, right?
No, it's complete. The registration is completely free,
Yeah.
and they allow up to 100 teams. So if we do this quickly, we might just have a chance.
Okay. Sorry. Are you gonna say like, oh, we might not make it, or are you just gonna say, oh yeah, let's register and then?
No, I'm gonna make the tryouts. I'm gonna have people register for them, and even if we can't go, any team can't go, I'm still gonna use it's still gonna be useful for us anyway for future competitions.
How many people are interested?
Yes, 6 people per team. So yeah.
Any alternates?
No alternates.
Okay.
6 only. All right, so for the competition, here's the opening scene. For cyber competitions, the way that it starts is that the hosts of the competition will give us a fictitious company and tell us that it's under attack. They're going to say something like, corporate has assigned us to defend the network from the attackers. We're supposed to generate reports on compromises and any findings and provide remediation plans for whatever we do find. The company, this may depend. Sometimes they give us a very detailed diagram of what machines and services are there. Other times they will say that they have little to no idea of what the asset inventory is, so we have to discover it manually. The machines in the network are typically old or running very vulnerable or misconfigured services. So yeah, come on. All right. So as far as network defense, in practice, what we are doing is defending the network and its services from the red team hackers, they're volunteer professionals, to score points. The OS choice of these machines depends on the competition, and they can range from only Linux, for example, NCIE is only Linux, all the way up to very niche distributions of Linux, something like Nix, I saw once a distro that was called Winx. It looks like Windows, but the backend was all Linux. It was extremely it had the APT package. So it was technically an Ubuntu. Very funny.
There's also PDF Linux, which is Linux but one other PDF.
One refresh rate every 3 seconds.
That takes like 30 minutes to boot, so that doesn't count.
You can also find very old versions of Windows, all the way up to XP, and BSD, which is it looks like Linux, but it's not Linux. Some of these machines will be hosting SCODA services, not all of them. For a small network, you're probably going to find all of them have SCODA services. For large networks, only a subset of them will have SCODA services. Others may there be to help you set up infrastructure. So you will set logging on one machine that isn't SCODA, and that's only for the team's purpose. And others may be there to be a foothold for the red team to then escalate privileges onto other machines. So there will be machines that are in scope of the red team, but they don't have any specific servers on them. Common services are SSH, web servers, databases, and DNS. There are more very often, but they vary significantly between competitions. So for example, CCDC has mail protocols and clients. It's something like that. Some other competitions have FTP, a file sharing service. So yeah, those four are essentially the big four, and they can vary between competitions after that. Now, how do you get points? There is a score engine that will be probing the network to test whether you configure your services correctly. And if you do, it gives you points. If you don't, so if you have a misconfigured service or it's actually down because red team uninstalled DNS entirely, you don't get points. Yes. So this is what the checks at the scoring engine look like. At the top, you can see what's this like? Cust HTTP, Cust 123 HTTP. Here we have the DNS machines. Here's some FTP. This is a CCDC score engine. So here we have POP3 and SMTP. That's mail. Here we have SSH services, so on and so forth. Basically, if you see green, you're doing something right.
Rare sight.
Actually,
You're never gonna see this. Like,
yeah, you're never gonna see all green.
You might see it once.
You might see the scoring engine.
The other section so besides network defense, that's not most of it. It's definitely the most flashy thing. The other thing is injects and CTFs. These are anywhere between a quarter to half of worth of points for the competition. What are CTFs? These are your typical CTF challenges. They don't necessarily have anything related to the competition scenario itself. They just be challenges. For example, UV lockdown. Those had a question of, for example, where did grep get created? It just happened to be at the University of Buffalo, so that's why they put that question. But yeah, that's just normal challenges. Injects, however, these are business tasks that are in scenario and are periodically assigned throughout the competition. They may be on the state of the network, so normal tasks like make a topology diagram of the network, list the services running on all of these machines, what ports are open, and typical IT-related tasks like reset a password for a user, add a computer to the ID domain, that sort of thing. And then you want to write a report on these tasks and you submit them for grade, for points. Now, it depends on the competition whether you'll have one or both of these. For example, NCIE, they only have CTFs but no injects. And CCDC, if I understand correctly, there are no CTFs, it's only injects. So you need to look out for these. Come on. And these are examples. So this, I believe, was yeah. So the one on the left, this is from UB Lockdown. If I remember correctly, you need to set a password policy. And the other one, this is from eCitadel. This was adding a domain account to the administrator account to the domain. Yeah, so funky stuff like that. The lag on this keyboard is crazy. All right, so lastly, the blackout. This is the first step in the competition. The red team typically will have automated scripts ready to spray the entire network as soon as they have access to. And typically, they do get access to the network within 2 minutes as soon as they start running things. typically most of these services will either be straight up vulnerable, like something metasploitable, or they'll have default credentials. So it's very simple to set up a script, try the default credentials, or try no password. They're probably getting somewhere. So the blackout script is meant to handle that by setting up firewall rules and hardening as much as reliably possible as soon as we get access to the machines. The scripts for the blackout script has to be incredibly reliable. I should have highlighted reliable, because the idea is that they will purposely make put OSs in the network that are incredibly niche, meant to break your scripts. So for example, you might think that this machine has bash, but actually this one has ZSH or a different shell, and for some reason it doesn't work, that kind of thing. So the scripts have to be good. But yeah, it's usually the very first thing I'm going to do. If you get set up good firewall rules, you're more than likely going to be able to thwart like 60% of red team. But that's the key. You got to get them right. So that's that. That's it for today. So what are we going to be doing is, don't switch. All right. We will be split into roles. I have a network set up for all of you guys to practice. I am hoping that most of you guys sort of have an idea of what roles you'd be like to be doing in competitions. The idea is I'm going to split all of you guys up into them and then have sort of a mentor-mentee type situation to get you guys running on these services. These are the general tasks for everybody. Add 14, quote unquote, to the IP address. This is going to be, for example, that's the first machine in the network, and then I'm going to, so if it ends on 101, I'd like for you guys to change it to 115. Once you set up your service, I'd like for you guys to create a backup and send it over to the backup machine. There's also a machine that's called backup. This is very important in competition, because if you manage to create backups, and it's reliable, you can kind of rest easy that if you ever see your service go down, just restore from backup. It'll probably be fine. So if you manage to get the backup set up, try to misconfigure something, like outright delete something important, or delete the entire DNS, for example, and then restart the service, see how it breaks, how it looks like when it breaks, and then try to restore from backup. And yeah, I'm not expecting, of course, anybody to run through the whole thing. The point is for whoever hasn't touched this ever to get your feet wet. Do as much as you can. The point is to learn. And here we have the rules for today. We have web, which is going to be an Apache server. And if you manage to get all of these, the service set up and the IP correctly, I would like for you guys to try setting up SSL. Database, I would like for you guys to put the Postgres database. For DNS, I'd like for you guys to put bind9, that's the service. FTP, set up FTP. Threat hunting, that's a machine that's vulnerable. So if you don't really are into all of these services, but you really like to figure out how to patch vulnerable settings in Linux, that's that machine. And also I put up a an Active Directory domain controller, and I would like for you guys to put DNS on it. And yeah, I also have a Linux workstation that if you can, I would like for you guys to join that computer onto the domain. I also wanted to put a Windows machine, a normal workstation that is supposed to put on Windows, but for whatever reason, I would like to ask you something. I can't load the drivers onto the installer for some reason in Proxima. I tried 3 different OSs, and
I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah, it's very weird. But anyway, for next week, I'm going to have Windows workstation ready for it to work. So yeah, and I'm going to post these slides because for whatever role you pick, these are a tutorial, a nice tutorial to follow through for all of these things. So yeah, that's that. Don't worry about everything. I'm going to send everything to Discord right now. So I would like for you guys, that's the network, that's the creds. Yeah, so for the HTTP web server, who would like to teach that?
Wait, I'm confused with this. Did you send a config file?
I haven't done anything. I just like for you guys to, I would like for you guys to look at who your quote unquote mentor is going to be for today. And then in the meantime, while you guys are joining together, I'm going to post all the materials. So who would like to teach Apache? The sexy guy over there is called Jake. If you would like to do some HTTP, go over to him. Workstation Linux, pairs with DNS. That's working with Active Directory and DNS. Who would like to do that?
Can we do all of them? Oh, wait, there's no Windows.
Wait, is there Windows?
Oh,
Yeah, there's a domain controller, but there's no Windows workstation.
Oh, there's a DC.
It's a DC.
Okay.
So who would like to do that part?
Is it the Linux DNS or the Linux DNS?
AD. No, there's two DNSs.
It depends on if there's a domain configured already.
There's a domain configured already. Maybe? Awesome. So if you would like to join, work with Active Directory, Ben over there is going to help you guys out. The patch me machine, who would like to do some threat hunting on Linux? That guy is our president. That's called, he's Andre. Who would like to do FTP? Nathan over there. DNS, that's setting up DNS on Linux. Anybody?
Yeah.
All right, I'll give it a shot. I'll do DNS. And lastly, databases. Postgres. You can try. That's all right. We're all here to learn. So here's the thing. We have HTTP and the database. Those two guys, they're in competition. They're supposed to work together, and DNS. By the way, the DNS for ID directory, that's like alone. The plan is to work the DNS on Linux to be, yeah, just for today. Have the DNS working together. So those three, so the web HTTP, the DNS, and the database machines, those have to work together. The DNS, I'm gonna working on that, but the other two, the last slide, I put up a tutorial of what I would like everybody to do. We're basically doing a LAMP stack, if you ever heard of it. If you're on the A side of it, you're gonna do the Apache part. If you're doing Postgres and PHP, I guess that'll be the P side. Yeah, that'll be the P side. And then, yeah, that's sort of it. Sounds good? Awesome.
PHP is on the web side, not on the database side. I mean, you can go either way, but I just want to.
If you find PHP on your section of the tutorial, go for it. That's the rule.
Okay.
Alrighty, so feel free to stand up and join your mentor.
Yeah. Yeah.